Hey, what's up everybody, how's it going? It's Dan's Great here with another part of this commentary playthrough of the Remastered edition of Final Fantasy X. And in the last part we discussed and constructed some ultimate armors for Tidus, Wakka and Rikku. And if you remember, Rikku was the one that got, the genuine ultimate armor for non-break HP limit people. And the other two we had to make do with what we had and put Stoneproof instead of Ribbon to help us get through the Dark Aeons. So this current setup that I have, weapon and armor wise, will be what will get me through all of the Monster Arena and all of the Dark Aeons. So the only other time I will need to make a new armor will be for Penance, so up until then we should be fine. So from the here onwards in this playthrough, when it comes to bosses and Dark Aeons and all that kind of stuff, and stat maxing as well, it's going to be, my focus is going to be on efficiency and speed. So not perfection in terms of numbers or stats, it's going to be more in terms of showing you what you need to do in order to get things done as quickly as possible, and especially to get the Platinum Trophy for this game. So that's what the focus is going to be on. So since we spent the last episode doing all of the preparation, I think it's about time that we put these three to the test in the Monster Arena and see what we can do without grinding at all for any stats, because the stats that we have right now, these are just what we've got while we've gone through the game and done the monster capturing. So there has been no grinding to get these stats that I have now. If you notice, the strength might be a little bit higher than last time, and that's because I made use of the strength spheres that I got for the lightning dodging, just boosted their strength a little bit. But other than that, there has not been too many extra boosts and certainly no grinding. So hopefully I should be able to get through the species and the area conquest, except for one that I think I definitely won't be able to beat. And we'll have a go at a couple of the originals. I don't think I'll be able to defeat most of them, but we should be able to take on one or two of them and should be able to get by. So let's get going and see how many of these guys we can take down, starting with Stratoavis. They do have some pretty funky names. Okay. So once you start fighting bosses that have more HP, Quick Hit is going to start coming into the mix, and you're going to find yourself using that a lot more. But I don't think I've taught Wakka Quick Hit yet, because of the route that he's taken on the sphere grid, so... But as you can see, they're doing pretty decent damage. Because of the ignore defense ability of the Celestial weapons, even though our strength is nowhere near 255, we're still getting quite a lot of damage in there. So this guy has 320,000 HP, which is quite a lot, but as you can see, these guys can rattle through that pretty quickly. He can be slowed and power broken as well if you want to make it easier for yourself, but in general, based on the stats that you have, he should be absolutely no problem. So this isn't going to be as much of a guide as the other ones, because when you're at really low levels, you shouldn't really be taking these guys on anyway. So once you do your monster capturing and you prepare your celestial weapons, then it's a good time to take them on, because you'll have that good balance of being able to defeat most of them very easily and still finding some of them to be quite a challenge. So I'll tell you stuff like their HP. So this guy has 640,000 HP, and if he ambushes you, he gives you some of this. So watch Rikku here. So that ribbon armor took care of pretty much everything that Putrid Breath had to throw at me, as you can see. So this is the only problem. Obviously if these two had ribbon as well, we'd be attacking straight away and there'd be no problems, but when all three of them don't have ribbon, you have to take a few extra turns to sort things out. There we go. I'm not even going to use attack reels most of the time, because it's just going to end too many of the battles in one hit. So, but as you can see, I mean, my agility is in the 60s for most of them except for Rikku, but because of that auto haste armor, look at the turns. You can't even see Malboro Menace's turns. And when you factor in that he's got 640,000, we're going to get through it very quickly. So I'll let it perform an attack just so you guys can see, but there's really not too much to show. I mean, most of the Monster Arena can be beaten in no sphere grid without even having to use summons. So the Monster Arena fiends may seem very difficult at the start, but they really aren't that hard. It's only the original creations that really start to push you if your stats aren't very good. Okay, let's let it have a turn, see what it can do. You can see it's so slow. Come on, just show us one attack. Oh, same one again, for good's sake. Just wasting my time. But as you can see, very easy, and I'm not even using my overdrives. So it's amazing what the right weapon and the right armor will do for you. If I didn't have the celestial weapons, if I couldn't break the damage limit, and my armors didn't have stuff like auto haste on it, then these fights would have taken a lot longer. I mean, I still would have been able to win, it's just that they would have taken a lot longer. Okay, this guy likes to counter-attack. He has 440,000 HP, and he hits hard. So I think even my guys, they will probably die from the counter-attack. Let's have a look. Yep, okay, so this is where Auto Phoenix kicks in. So pretty much any enemy that doesn't have an attack that will hit all of your characters, Auto Phoenix can pretty much help you to win the battle. As you can see. He will target the character with the highest strength when he's doing his own attack. But you can see that lowered strength again when their HP drops. But this guy has nothing else to offer, it's just a counter attack and a physical hit, so it's literally a matter of time before he dies. Provided you have enough Phoenix Downs and Auto Phoenix, you can kill him with pretty much any stats, to be honest. So already almost 360,000 damage from Wakka, and he has like 118 strength or something like that, so imagine 255. Obviously, nice thing about Monster Arena, you can just do that, get your stuff back, and obviously there's no game overs either, so it's just it's an excellent place to train and to fight enemies. Coeurlregina. Regina, what an interesting name. Okay, 380k here, and she actually has a pretty interesting attack that bypasses even death immunity. So let's see that attack first before we do anything. I think there's like a 33% chance of using it or something like that. So this is the regular attack that will cause curse and confusion as well. What else? It's one of the very few attacks in the game that immunity will not stop, so I just wanted you guys to see it, but it's not using it. Damn it. Let's drop it below 50% HP. I think that increases the odds slightly. Okay, what about now? Nope, still not using it. It's an attack called Hyper Blaster, and it will instantly KO your character regardless of what protection you have. It's just it's a special move in that sense. But it's not playing ball. Regina doesn't want to use Hyper Blaster. There we go. But Auto Phoenix. So this one has no multi attacks either. So again, very easy. No problem. So most of these battles, like I said, having the celestial weapons and the ultimate armors, it pretty much speeds things up. It's not that they make you more likely to survive. It's just that they help you to deal damage more quickly and to recover more quickly as well. Okay, this one is a little bit tough. I think it has 520,000 HP, something like that. And it has a powerful magic attack, and I think that is my biggest weakness at the moment. My magic defense is very low, so if it hits me up with something like that, I will probably die. So you can always prepare for something like that by setting up Hyper Mighty Guard, because we have loads of Gambler Spirits that we're not going to need for anything else, so plenty of mixing opportunities. Alright, let's hit it up. By the way, I have the Victor overdrive mode, so every time I win a battle, I think it goes up by like 20%, so... Riku's immune, and again stoneproof, so that is the most important status protection that you really need, and that's why it will suffice. Because obviously if you get petrified you can be shattered, and it also has a delaying effect, and it will dispel, you know, things like shell and all that kind of stuff, so unless you have auto shell of course, so that's why having stoneproof is very useful. Show me that powerful magic attack. Let me see it. Nope. That's what I mean, I can't even get it to use the attacks that I want. It's too easy at the moment. Do it. Ugh. It seems to be using it on the person with the lowest HP. So that might be something to note about Cold Stare. So it seems to always hit Rikku. It's been 3 in a row. Either she's unlucky or it's because she has the lowest HP. Again, that attack can be evaded countered. So you can see it's pretty much useless. And provided you have Hyper Mighty Guard, even if you have low levels, you should be able to recover pretty easily. Nope, just does not want to use Space-Time Vorban. So I guess you guys will have to see that one for yourself. But it's the same attack as Sonic Tail, but obviously the Monster Arena version does a lot more damage. But don't worry, there are bosses coming up that can wipe the floor even with these guys, so it seems very easy at the moment, but we will get to some more difficult ones eventually. Cactuar King is an annoying little shit. He has a very high evasion, so he's hard to hit. And when you try to attack him, he counters with 10,000 needles. Again, Auto Phoenix will come to the rescue here. And if you find that you can't hit him with your characters, which is very likely to happen, as you can see, then overdrives are the way forward against this guy. He only has 100,000 HP, so even if you have no sphere grid stats, you can just mix a trio of 999 with Rikku, or Quad 9 trio, or whatever you call it, and use Wakka's attack reels, and you'll be able to kill it. So I will be using an overdrive here, because I just can't be bothered. Okay, so it seems like Victor gives me 60%. Oh yeah, I have triple overdrive, so because all 3 of them have triple overdrive, it charges 20% because I win the battle, and that gets tripled. So every battle my overdrive gauge gets refilled by 60%, so that's pretty cool. So as annoying as he can be, he's pretty easy to defeat, even with no sphere grid. I'm pretty sure someone has a playlist of no sphere grid Monster Arena enemies, and I think there's even someone that has it, you know, without using Summon or Doom as well. So there's some interesting battles when you don't use the sphere grid, that's for sure. Okay, who's next? Espada. This one has an annoying counter attack called Hades Claw, which will inflict death, so you need death proof, and even Ribbon doesn't protect against death, so that means that even Riku's going to die here. So it inflicts death and poison. It's just a very nasty attack. But as usual, it's a single person attack only, so it's not going to be a big deal. But it's annoying to see your characters die as a result of death. Regardless of how strong they are, when they just get knocked out like that, it's pretty annoying. The Hades Claw counter-attack is randomized, it can hit anyone. And I think once it uses it 4 times, the next attack it will do when it does get a turn will be Blade Shower, which is a pretty strong attack. Just annoying doing it over and over again. If you're at very low levels, obviously the auto regen that it has will be difficult to out-damage, but wow, that was pretty shitty damage. I'm very unimpressed. But obviously you can use a trio of 999 again, and the multiple hit overdrives will help you out as well. So this guy should not be causing you any problems. How much HP does he have? Not sure, I think it's like 200 something thousand, 280,000 or something. No problem. He's actually susceptible to slow as well, so if you're struggling you can slow him down as well. And obviously armor break and that kind of stuff if you want it. Abyss Worm, I don't remember anything interesting about this guy. He is so slow, it's unreal. Look at that. I mean, what is the point? I don't even have anywhere near max agility, and already I get so many turns. It's not even going to get a turn. And I think his regular attack is evade and counterable anyway, so honestly, this isn't going to cause you any trouble. Except for this, obviously, after you attack him a certain amount of times, again it has that swallow attack, which is pretty cheap. But you should be able to take it down before it uses the earthquake attack, which could kill everyone. But even if you can't, you've got a Hyper Mighty Guard as well to bring you back. And it's not going to use it that often, so you should be fine. And I think after it uses Earthquake, it's going to be susceptible to sleep. I think there's something like that in its statistics. In its mechanics, sorry, not statistics. So after he's used Earthquake, you can put him to sleep, which is quite interesting. Da Air Hump. Okay, who's next? Your monsters are getting slain, homie. Okay, Chimerageist we've already dealt with. Tonberry, we'll be meeting this guy again very soon. And he behaves just like all of the other Tonberries. Just the whole karma animation will take a long time, so in order to speed things up I'm going to use overdrives here. Again, it behaves exactly the same, but the karma obviously this time is very strong. But Auto Phoenix will take care of it. And just like the other ones, it will waddle forwards 4 times, and after the 4th waddle it will stop counter-attacking and it will stab you with the knife. But it's 1 by 1, so again it's very slow. I'm not even going to use Tidus's because Wakkas can sort it out more quickly. Attack with is just too good. So much better than Slice and Dice. Even Blitz Ace. Do your thing. Tonberry has 480,000 HP, so it will take a little while to deplete it. So if your characters are not very strong, again you can use Trio of 999. I know I call it 999, but it's just too long to say quad 9 every single time. So wow, Wakka took more damage. But yeah, you will take him down eventually, provided that you have Auto Phoenix. So, a quick preview of what's going to happen in the future. I will be using this guy in order to use a very well-known trick in order to max your stats very quickly. Because of this Karma counter-attack and the fact that it does so much damage, we can exploit this to get sphere levels very quickly. But obviously I'll be talking about that a little later. It just takes so long. Do I have Entrust? I think someone does. Rikku might have Entrust. No, she does not. Damn it. So I guess the only downside of having not, maximize strength when you have the celestial weapons is that when you have full HP, you'll be doing decent amounts of damage, but when your HP deteriorates, then the damage output will really come down. So I think once you start to get into the 130s and the 140s, you'll start, I think 137 is what you need to get consistently 100,000 damage every single time against low defense enemies. But the difference between having obviously 137 and 255 is that when you have a 137, if you take half damage, then you're going to start doing a lot less damage. But at 255, even if you take a lot of damage, you'll probably still be hitting for 100,000 when you're against weaker enemies. Okay, Kottos Pass. Just random weird name. You guys are very knowledgeable about your Final Fantasies. Is this a name that exists in other Final Fantasies as well? Probably is. Now, you will encounter some enemies that have armored status like this guy. So critical hit only 25,000. So against these guys, most of them have a pretty solid resistance to armor break. So armor break is going to be very inconsistent for you. So in that case, you should steal some frag grenades from the mechs in Gagazet. And frag grenades are special because they will always afflict armor break. And the only time it will not work is if the enemy actually has an immunity and not a resistance. So I picked a few up before I started to do this whole thing. Let's toss a frag grenade. And voila, he no longer has his armored status. So there you go. It will make life a lot easier. He has all of the normal attacks, and obviously it doesn't take a genius to figure out that he will use something dangerous after you kill him as well. I think he has like 550k HP, something like that, so it's quite a lot. 4,300, not bad. I will do one thing here before I kill it. I will use Hyper Mighty Guard in case that attack is too powerful for my people to handle. Because I think it casts Ultima or something like that, and it's pretty powerful, so I don't want to die now. Where's that Gambler Spirit? There it is. Okay, we should be good to roll now. Once you've armor broken, Slice and Dice is still pretty effective as well. Yeah, it's almost 200k damage, that's pretty good. I think it's just over. Yep, it is Ultima. Okay, let's see. With Shell, can my people survive it? Pretty sure they can, but you can never be too sure. Okay, 4,600. So without Shell, it would have just about been on the edge. So play it safe. Okay, that's Kottos Pass. The species conquests are a little more difficult, so the area conquest will always be easier than the rest. Abaddon, I think I remember this guy. Can be quite problematic. He has very powerful magic attacks, and like I said, the one weakness that my party has is magic-based attacks. 12,000. What? I think this guy's immune to armor break as well, which makes things a bit more difficult. Shit. Okay. That's not good. I think I need to use Cheer in order to do a little bit more damage here. Because his magic attacks are very powerful, so he's going to kill us pretty easily, I think. I think he has 280,000 HP, so it will take a little while with these stats. And he also has an attack that will hit everyone as well, but you'll know when it's coming because he will charge up for it, so in that sense it should be okay. Oh shit, it's coming already. Damn. I don't have a full overdrive either. This is a bit problematic actually. This is one battle where I should have changed the Victor overdrive mode. So I'm going to use Entrust here. It says contribute your overdrive gauge to an ally's gauge. Let's do that. And get Rikku to protect us here, because I think the next attack it's going to do will probably kill us. So it's called Emblem of the Cosmos, and it deals either magic damage or special damage to everyone. So okay. So when you attack this guy 6 times, that's when the counter is filled for Emblem of the Cosmos. So after you've attacked him 6 times, he will use Mana Focus, and the next turn will be Emblem of the Cosmos. So let's have a look. Let's see if we're strong enough to survive it. Does look pretty impressive, I have to say. I mean, for a random encounter, and he is the only one that has an attack like this. Okay, 5,000, that's not bad. Again, Hyper Mighty G was useful. I also stole some healing waters from Adamantoises so that I could heal quickly, so don't have to waste time with mega potions or anything like that. But yeah, he will go down eventually. Yep, so provided that your agility is high enough, you're only ever going to see Emblem of the Cosmos, and if you can survive it, then it's no problem. And even if you can't, set up your overdrive so that you could still, so you can always recover from it. I think if you have Comrade and your stats are low, every time it kills you with Emblem of the Cosmos, you should be able to recharge your overdrive gauge to be ready for the next one. But I doubt I'll be able to overkill him now. Okay. It must have been anything over quad 9s was an overkill. Okay, as you can see it dropped 2 Dark Matters. This is what I was talking about. You will get those as a rare drop every now and again. But still getting 99 in that way is pretty long. Okay, Vorban, probably the most annoying of the area creations. And that's because it has that mortar counter-attack that we saw briefly earlier. This is another one that is armoured, so frag grenades, if you have them, will lighten the workload significantly. If you don't have any frag grenades and you can't be bothered to go to Gagazet to steal them... Oh shit, it was immune. I forgot about that. Damn it. But what I say still stands. You can mix with Rikku, and if you mix 2 power spheres together, it will make a frag grenade. So, it's good to know. This guy is going to take quite long. What I'll need to do is cast Cheer, because that's the only way to increase my damage output. And I'll probably get Shell on everyone as well to reduce the damage from that attack that it just did, Mortar. So I'll wait for it. So when the Fiends get more difficult, the only thing that changes is just that you need a little bit more time to make your preparations. But once you have, you should be okay. Again, this guy is not strong enough to kill me, so unless I do something really silly, I should be okay. Entrust is a really nice ability, I have to say. It's good that they thought of an ability like that. Okay, this will help me get Shell on everyone very quickly. Seriously, you have enough Gambler Spirits to just, you know, go nuts with this. And they're common steals from some of the original creations as well, so you can get them back pretty quickly. Okay. This guy, if you attack it, I think it's a physical attack, or just an attack in general. I think if you damage it, it will, there's a 50% chance of it using Mortar as a counter-attack. So if it decides to use it a lot, it's just going to really take a long time to defeat it. Because it has 630,000 HP. And you can't armor break it, so it's a very long-winded battle. So this is what I mean, it's not always plain sailing. There are some battles where you have to do a little bit extra. Oh, come on, really? 3 times in a row. You can't evade that attack, which is really annoying, even if you have evading counter. I think that's very cheap. I'm impressed. Using overdrives is pretty pointless when your strength is low in comparison to the enemy's defense, and if they have armor status and that kind of stuff, then your overdrives really aren't going to do a lot of damage. So I'll show you Tidus' Slice and Dice just so you can see how little damage it will do. 15,000, so yeah, it's okay, but not great. Every fucking time. Oh. Whoa. Okay. I guess that is an attack that you need to watch out for. Body Splash is pretty powerful, so you need to make sure that your HP is up to scratch. Otherwise, it could kill you. Damn, now Rikku has to get shell again. Ugh. Yep, like I said, I mean, most of them are very easy, but you will encounter some of them that will be extra annoying. I mean, I wouldn't call this guy difficult at the stat style I'm at, it's just, it take a little bit of time. I'm just going to use the Mega Elixir, what the hell. Speed things up. It's just the fact that he does it every time, it's just so annoying. It's supposed to be a 50% chance, but it's been more like 80% this bout. And even if he uses it once, my damage output really reduces, so this is not an ideal enemy to be encountering at lower levels. Okay, there we go. So he did take a little while, but not particularly challenging. Obviously the fight would have gone by a lot quicker if I had just had like Comrade Overdrive mode and Trio of 999, that would have made things much easier. I think now I'm going to change that anyway, because the next set of enemies are a little bit more difficult and will probably do a bit more damage to me, so we'll switch it around now.